Welcome, welcome. This is Studio Week 3. I'm doing notes here for MFahim. MFahim, we'll see player 2 side, the Nagoriyuki player. This week I was trying something new as far as the studio production going, to ask the class when they're playing what they're working on. Unfortunately, for the sake of this notes review, MFahim did not leave any note on what they're working on. So we will be unable to inform our notes on that. But with things getting started, it looks we have 8 minutes on the timer. I'm going to guess this is a first to three set. We'll see what happens. Fahim notes from Dastra coming in. Let's see what's going on. Of course, I always like to think of what's the round start here between the two characters. We have Ram versus Nagoriyuki. Round starts from Ram that are like threatening but ever present. Far Slash, of course, 6p, Ram 6p being very long. 5k, fairly fast. Longer range poke for a kick normal. But more often than not, I feel like you'll see, especially in a matchup like this where you have such powerful round starts as Nagoriyuki, Ram's going to feel comfortable to back off, but we don't want to get too far away because we want to stay in this effective range that Ram wants to go to. But to counter that, MFahim, we can put together some low committal options, like I always like to point out. Low committal options, 2S, 5K, 5P, 6P, stuff like that. Or even just like Fukyo back, or just hold your ground and don't do anything. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's already super low committal. I have no issues with this interaction here. MFahim already representing that they want to play it patiently, but Pinecone committing to basically the slow walk back far slash, countering out what looked to be the 2S from MFahim. So starting out, I have zero issues with the round start. Conservative round starts are often very powerful and even sort of like presents that you want to play it slow, and something that's very strong with Nagoriyuki in the neutral game against a character that can really sort of play at that range that Nagoriyuki can contest with. But that being said, just the hold your ground 2S, zero issue with it. Very strong option, just running the RPS. Unfortunately got counter hit. But also, I also want to point out that like this isn't a huge payoff for Pinecone here. It's like despite getting counter hits, there's no huge payoff. So it's still a strong position for MFahim. Because we see here we're sending out the sword. We're not going to be that close to the corner to get the explosion. So like maybe like a wake up Fukyo forward into nothing, like Fukyo down back, just to get out. Jump forward I'm a little hesitant about, but like, I don't know, it's weird because Nagoriyuki has the limited movement options. Yeah, we're just outside of that range for the explosion. That was a good 6P. Like, what are the options here? You do stagger into 6H, it gets 6P. You throw another sword, which I think 6P might go through because it's the S sword, which goes high. You go for the flip, which gets 6P'd. Delay Daro gets 6P'd. Yeah, that caught delay 6H. We turn this counter hit situation. This is really good here. At 20 seconds. Turned the 6P into advantageous position. It's essentially leading from by buffering the 6P, it turns into something that is good for MFahim. It's something that Macho pointed out in previous classes. When you're committing to a 6P like this, you want to lean into the idea that it's going to hit. Even if it like whiffs, you can buffer something and it won't come out into cancel. And we're canceling into clone here, which is such a powerful option. So by buffering the 6p into, in this case, clone, you turn your RPS into pressure. Very good. Very good thinking. It didn't turn into pressure necessarily, but so we get counter hit 6p. I guess could commit harder by doing the earliest cancel. Perhaps a better situation afterwards. So we Fukio'd forward and we got nothing, and now we're super jumping. This is, I don't know how I feel about the super jump. I feel like you can do better on the ground. Just like a slow walk forward, even like another Fukio into nothing. Because after the clone Fukio forward, you're in just under bar and a half of blood. So you have like pressure to spend. See, we already like turned this into a loss, and even though Daro was blocked here, the landing recovery or the landing sort of leaves us as still relatively advantageous for Pinecone. But I don't feel great about the jump after because we still have ground to hold and even blood to spend. If you're watching this MFahim, this means that you can still like walk forward and present the threat on the ground, like Nagoriyuki very powerful on the ground. You don't have to get close to Ram. Like you don't have to be up close. And that jump sort of reads to me as that you want to be in their face. You want to be hitting them already. And that's just not indicative of a winning situation. Whereas being in pressure already, this sort of thought process might lead to more wins at that distance where you had them before. Like, so you're right here. You're right here. That distance, you don't have to jump here to pull the win for you. Like, there's so much to work with that you don't have to jump here. I've already explained. I guess that wasn't as plus as I thought. Daro is super minus on blocks, so the 2D trades you're at ends up working out pretty well. Oh, that was Miss Bloodsucking Universe, I believe. I believe it's 623p, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Missed input leads to getting hit. Gold burst. Okay. If that was on purpose, I think that was actually pretty smart. Because I don't know. I think they might be able to get like 2k after this, or like 5k. I don't know actually. But perhaps the buffered 2D leads me to believe that it was like 2k 2D or something. If that were a blue burst, how do I feel about it? So we've done another Fukio. We've done another clone Fukio. And we're getting into this. We get counter hit. Look at the blood gauge here. I don't know. Like, we still have about, like, 55, 60% health. We're close to the corner. Bursting, like, you burst, and because we're not close enough to the corner, I think because we're not close to the corner, this was a bad burst. So I don't agree with the burst. Because we have high blood, high blood means we can't really capitalize on the situation. Because, like, high blood, you can't really move forward without just walking. We do have 100% tension, but I feel like this was a failure from Pinecone to combo, and that should have been a blue burst. You do have 100% tension, but I think this was just a dropped combo from Pinecone. I don't know. I feel like this burst feels super greedy. I think that the pivotal resource here is that we don't have blood to spend. If we had the near empty gauge, empty blood gauge, then this would have been a fantastic situation. But this is nothing more than just I don't want to get knocked down, I feel. Also, like, getting knocked down, we're not close to being in the corner, so Ram is less of a threat. I don't know. Mostly I like to examine burst points because I feel like, especially outside of the top level, this is where games are won and lost. So I'm like, I just want to like key into this and think about it. But we've only been like 30 seconds and I've already been speaking for like 10 minutes. Yeah, we Fuko twice already. We baited it out. Double bait. I'm gonna say greedy double bait. If it were against someone you don't know much about. I guess not. I guess not. Maybe not so greedy because we want to stay in. The first, the wake up bait, that's just being patient. Maybe not so greedy actually. The wake up, you just hold back and let Ram hang themselves, and then this one is pretty free because we have the tension to spend. We just do close slash RC, and because we don't see that Ram is getting hit by the burst, because like the red Roman cancel has a hitbox, and because we don't see Ram is moving when they're getting hit here, we can readjust and tell that they're going to burst. So actually, in hindsight, that was a good bait. That was a good bait because it was free, and if you're right, you get so much of your blood back. Oh, we're just spending it? We don't need it. Oh. Okay. Okay. Sometimes just gotta. You get all your blood back, and this time you can go ham. Let's see, 1, 2. Play it patient. That was just going right in. Ram Sword just being Ram Sword going through the 6P. That's +1. I think it's +1. I think on a stand block it's +1. I'm pulling up Dust Loop right now because I keep saying that it's +1, and I could just be spreading misinformation. All right. What just happened? Database error. Dust Loop, no! The one time I'm trying to be responsible, Dust Loop gives me the error. That's tragic. Okay. It is plus. It is plus. Whether or not it's +1 or not, we can pay attention to. Just for future reference. I mean, you can, like, backdash after the flip, but that can get dangerous. Because you can backdash out of the 2K. Just getting caught by 2K to counter hit, might I add. So you like the real goal here is you want to be able to, at best, you want to anti-air 5P against the flip. If you block, it is plus. So don't try to press when you're so close to dead. Because that's like a clear frame trap situation. We're moving in. We have just parity on resources almost. Pinecone got their burst baited, but they're in such a good position here. I like the tempo shift here. I don't have much to say other than a good shift of tempo to get the throw. This will open up situations in the set for stagger strings and intense pressure sequences. Just one throw can do that, so don't lean on it too heavily. I'm writing that right now. I haven't watched the rest of the set. Don't lean on it too heavily just means just because one throw works doesn't mean that your whole offense should revolve around it. It should revolve around the thought of the throw. Like, throw is very threatening, sort of resets the pressure situation, but your offense should not be exclusively throw. It can revolve around throw. Throw from Nagoriyuki is incredibly threatening, but your offense should not rely exclusively on it. 2H. Yeah, that's another situation. Good awareness. The threat is there. Unfortunate drop, but we still get the 2K 2D here. It's fine that we didn't get the confirmation off of the 2K, but because that's just a stagger situation, we already sort of commit to it. But let's just look at what we have here. We have the hit on the close slash. I'm going to guess that that was close slash 5K. 122 close slash into 5K. Just tighter execution to clean it up. Nothing big. Yeah, because that 6K is a lot slower. We get grabbed out of it for our troubles, and this is where you're scared. Oh, that was dangerous. That might pop, actually. So where are we when we do that? Yeah, we can clone through it, but that might pop. Gotta look at your gauges, man. Because, like, we can't do much after that, and if we just try to Fukyo forward, that's clearly hanging ourselves, and we're committing so hard to it, actually winning the interaction. Clone here leans too heavily on let's just hope this works, and you end up getting hard punished for it. So that was really dangerous for MFahim. But we you can end up because 2K2D not that great of a punish. You can run up close slash after that. We spend the tension, we waste the bar. Like, honestly, MFahim could have died from that. Dash up, close slash 2H, send a sword up, and then, like, I don't know, charge dust, and you finish that by breaking the wall with Calvados, and that probably would have killed. But spending the RC, like, MFahim got away with murder here. Now you can go super hard. You don't even have to. The burst options from Naga are really strong. Grace burst option. I don't want to say burst because burst is a resource. Great quick moving offensive action. We have blood to spend, making it pretty safe, all things considered. Tied up in rounds. That's an early threat here that needs to be respected. Pinecone perhaps having the idea that early Beyblade often gets delayed, canceled into, like, DP, Fukyo, or even like Bloodsucking Universe or something. It's really stressful to layer around that, especially right off the bat. So we got the throw. Delay. That's a lot of blood spent really early. Oh, barely didn't pop. Good patience on this burst. This is in some really good patience on the burst. Super conservative right there. I think maybe it could have been a thought like, oh, I'm getting hit one and I'm going to pop. But even still, because like if you burst when you're almost guaranteed to pop, you're basically dead in the water. And you like cause. Oh, great layer one. Or move past the great layer one. But is you caused Pinecone to spend the bar to bait out a burst potentially, and now you're in the corner, and then use this fantastic option, PRC forward command throw. PRC forward BSU is a great way to work around layer 1 defense against the PRC. Because you expect PRC, it's like, oh, they're just standing there so they can mash throw, which will beat out a lot of my buttons, but the command throw is throw invulnerable, so it means that you get through the throw and turn this into a winning position for MFahim. Never mind. Could have gotten better, Oki. In a situation like you could even just do like clone Fukyo or like clone 5K, clone Far Slash. There's so much there just to set up the meaty and turn this into instant pressure. And now you're blocking. You're blocking in the corner against Ram Lethal Valentine with 50% tension, and you are going to die from this, basically. Pinecone keeping the corner. This is the offensive position you want to be in for Ram. Next hit is dead for you, but we managed to get out. And that's pre-jump frames. That is 100% trying to jump out. Unfortunate turn of events. Pinecone with the first win. Moving forward, round start Beyblade, just getting hit. Strong option. This jump confuses me. I'm not going to type out anything else. I'll type out something else. This jump confuses me. Nago's ground options are insane. We have pressure starting. Actually, let's just do a count here. Blood count. We did Beyblade on round start. Beyblade, Fukyo, close slash. Clone Fukyo. That's about 2 blood gauges here. Clone Fukyo into just like close slash bully pressure would be so scary in this position. Good holding your ground. Run up throw. That's, I mean, it's just so weird to think about that. It's like, why would they do that ever? And it just works sometimes. 2S really strong. It's I think 12 frames in level 1 blood. I don't know. You just caught them out of the air with 2H. I feel like that's such a present option in their mind. Maybe you could have done something to just put up a stop sign. 5H is always really good in those situations. Panic burst. Yeah, tick throw. I think a big thing that we've seen a lot is I messed up a pressure sequence. I want to burst and I want to get out of this. That's happened like twice so far. 3 times maybe. Just far slash bully. They're plus, but that was a weird situation. 6P pushes them out of the corner. That, is this a blood pop? Oh, it just kills anyway. Good offensive sequence. Would have been a blood pop. If you're committing to the clone, I think you should do it faster. You can do delayed DP, and that's just very powerful. 332. If you commit to clone, maybe do it faster. Delay DP, it seems to be the general go-to when I see Nago do Beyblade. Because like the delay DP, you can keep it safe. You can do like there's so much to do in that RPS. You do like delay DP1, delay DP2, DP1 into stagger string, Fukyo off, Fukyo away. A bunch of things that can lead to really positive situations there. Caught at the pre-jump frames. Why are you jumping so much against a ram? I just think... I think it should be like... Why are you jumping so much? Like, you can contest the ground game against ram here. Yeah, just committed to the 5H a little bit too early. That's no problem, just found the gap. We want to see you holding onto your burst here. I literally just said it. I literally just said it. 350. You gotta hold on to your burst when you see the life disparity, along with the fact that you have a round to spare. This seems super greedy. Something like I mentioned this earlier. Focusing in on the burst points is very important because I feel that until you reach the tippy top level, this is where games are won and lost. Just patient, out of range, delay, close slash, that happened to work out. So, okay, you bursted. You got the burst out of Pinecone, but even still, like, I 100% disagree with that. I disagree with Pinecones also, but I disagree with your bursting there. You're at parity into this next round, but it's just such a scary position to be in. Dash 2K, that was an interesting round start. We've already done this like 3 times, close, far slash 1-2 into a throw. With low blood, I think you need to threaten. Far SS into special more, especially after you've already represented far slash into throw a few times, maybe not several times, a few times in the set. Like, we have blood to spare. You've only done 1 special and a Fukio at this point. Or maybe less than that, but I don't know. BRC forward. You have to, like, already commit something if you want to beat this out. And look at this. We're going to die, and we didn't even get our burst back. We didn't even get our burst back. Come on. I'm going to complain about this forever. I'm sorry, MFahim. I don't mean to be so critical. I talk to so many people about this. I complain about it when I'm watching behind people at the local, and I'm just thinking to myself, why the heck did they burst here? And it's something just like being able to be patient about it is something that will really push you further. But it's 2-0 in Pinecone's favor right now, and I think that burst in the second round was super important. There's that early cancel that I was talking about, actually. That early cancel happened to not work out because the counter hit, but I have no issue with it. Or maybe no issue with it in that you already committed to it, so it happened, but maybe there's better options after Beyblade to think about. So homework for you, Beyblade round start, what do you do afterwards? Just go into training mode, I guess. Early burst. Okay, early burst into just all in here. I'm fine with the burst, but just because you bursted doesn't mean you have to get the pressure right away. Don't worry about the pace of the match. Get comfortable with just holding your ground or walking forward. I've said this to a bunch of friends. One thing that I really like about watching good Nago players is how they walk with the character. Because Nago is someone with very limited mobility options. Just seeing how each player walks forward and backwards, I think is sort of like what differentiates them between the levels down and even differentiates them amongst each other. I think it's very interesting to see how a Nagoriyuki player is just walking in the game. You get challenged, that's -3. Offensive position here. Because like you bursted, you went right in, you lost all your all your blood, which means that you can't really act as well. And it turns into this huge, huge situation where you're not only stuck on defense, you're even just getting dealt so much more damage than you would have if you had not done Fukyo Beyblade. Slight walk back, yeah. Punishes the throw tech attempt. Here we are. Backdash. What are you backdashing here? What are you backdashing? There's nothing to be afraid of at that range. So this is... That looked like 6p. $6p doesn't seem like the position to use it, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Let's rewind a little bit here. 6H Saberbato, H Saberbato. So right around here, we're leaving blocks done. That's so much blocks done. Holy cow. Ram 6H is almost always getting canceled into an attack, whether it be Rekka or Saberbato. Sword toss. No one ever remembers the name of it, so I'll just write it in my notes. Leads into a hard knockdown and not quite guess for game situation. Brief pause. What are you doing, Pinecone? What was that? What are you baiting? Throw tech? Just meaty them. Yeah. And maybe it's just... It led to such a bad situation there. Continuing on. 3-0. Insta Q up. Personal preference. Not right for everyone. I like to take some time between rounds. To me at least, this is just me playing. I feel that when I queue up so fast, it means that I am frustrated and I need to take a step back. Something that I feel in a competitive set. Whereas this is not necessarily a competitive set, just a framing device to be in the competitive mindset. I like to have a prop with me, essentially, to slow me down between rounds. I drink some water between rounds. I have my water bottle with me at locals, at tournaments. It does not matter. If I'm in a competitive situation, I take some deep breaths. I'd get some water. Round start Beyblade. Big counter hit. You get like 5k, maybe close slash after that. I don't know. Unfortunate drop. Turning into... You've already spent so much blood. That is like 2.5 bars already. Full charge dust. Oh, come on. Unfortunate not going for the full combo. See, this is another situation here. You burst it at high blood. Not close to the corner. Like, what do you even burst on here? You got bursted on jump in JS into close slash. This is a super aggressive burst. Super aggressive burst with no game plan after. Because we're at 2.5 bars. We did burst. Burst into clone Fukyo. This feels like you are giving up the game here. Even this clone. If you had burst and held your ground, that would have been so much better. But you just get full comboed, blood burst. You have no burst of your own. OTG, you should have been dead there. You get OTG sword slam after that. The windshield wipers, as Jadelin likes to call it. Chipped out. You had so much tension to use. Yeah. Clone Fukyo. Fukyo feels like you're giving up the game. Round start DP. Such a powerful option. This is the first time they've used it. 6P. What do you... I don't feel like there's a reason to bait there. That's another thing that people do outside of the top level. They're just always baiting burst. If your burst bait is free, then sure, go for it. Like Macho is always just... Oh, it looks like you just put down the controller there. Yeah, you did. Unfortunate awareness. I'm always holding forward off the wall. Something that I'd like to see you do too. Safe jump in. Didn't turn into a safe jump. BRC back. That was an aggressive blood-sucking universe. I don't know. It feels like you're just trying to go too fast. 5k into just stand there. Yeah. I don't know. It feels like you've kind of just put the controller down and accepted defeat here. Early burst. With 0 blood, that's like fine. You can go in, but you don't have to. There's just so much that tells me that MFahim is playing very frustrated. Throw tech. Yeah, it worked out this time. That was really good usage, and you had the blood to spend. So that was a good thought process. Run up throw. Just a tick throw setup with the IAD JS. Breaks the wall to kill. You have a burst back. I'd like to see early but not aggressive burst here. Already off to a fantastic start here. Okay. I was going to complain about the just 2D, but I'm also going to complain about this burst. This burst did not have to happen. You did 2D or 2K check. Fukyo in. I'd think that you probably have enough time to recognize that the clone hit there. So clone Fukyo 2K 2D 6H OTG if you want it. You just didn't commit. I think he was going for the tick throw setup, I guess. You didn't have the momentum for it. Cleaned up execution, I guess. I don't know, there's so much better you could have done here. Close slash anti-air, anti-air throw, 5p anti-air. This is such a greedy gold burst. Gold burst. A lot of easier, safer, and better anti-air options here. 5p, close slash, air throw come to mind right away. Because this is a losing situation here again. Like, you've gold bursted, you are now in the corner. You may have 100% of your life bar, but I don't know. I feel like there's so many better situations to use a burst there, gold or not. Same thing. That was just guessing right on the RPS situation. You don't have your burst here. Pinecone is going to break the wall. Could have done something better other than 5p, but whatever. You both have 50% tension. This is a fantastic situation for Ram here. Just get counter hit. Kara super to seal it out. So, things to take away here. I think primarily you need to slow down. That's my main thing here. There's a lot of like small things where you can just go in and figure stuff out in training mode, but I think mentality-wise, you just need to slow down and play at not your pace, Nagoriyuki's pace. There's so much that Nagoriyuki does to dictate the flow of the game that you can use with you to really just play the game you want to play. And I'd like to see you just walking more, using burst slower, maybe even just finding a structured offense that doesn't require you to go as all in as it seems like you're going now. And I think that's something that's very important, especially with the recent change in December. That means that you have to be able to manage your blood just a little bit better. And it's not just managing blood by doing specials, it's managing blood by using your normals, on hit, on block, and even using your burst. Burst is like an inadvertent blood gauge management tool, and I think that's something that a lot of players would benefit from paying attention to. Anyways, I hope that these ideas are constructive. I hope these ideas are something that you can put to use and help you tighten up your gameplay. There are a lot of great ideas. It's just, I think you need to slow down. That's my final message. Anyways, good luck in your future grind. Happy training.